The Las Vegas Strip is built on hopes and dreams, and right now, some of them rest inside the Rio. The World Series of Poker main event bracelet drives all who still play here on Day 6. I'm Lon McCarron, joined by my broadcast partners Norman Chad and Kara Scott. To an outer table for an all-in and call, Qui Win with a set of jacks, trying to knock out Tyler Hancock with flush and straight draws.
Win, 39-year-old Las Vegas gambler. Hancock, 33-year-old Arizona online entrepreneur. Somebody's main event is going to come crashing down in a moment.
Two even stacks. Turn card is a 10. Hancock turns Broadway to turn the tables on Win.
Win now is going to need the board to pair.
The river card is another queen. Win rivers a full house to outgun the nut flush of Hancock.
And just like that, Tyler Hancock has to pack up, and Win with a virtual double up has a new lifeline.
Knockouts coming quick on Day 6. Two familiar fellows are well stacked here. Valentin Vorniku has the chip lead. Alex Keating still has his beard and 6 million chips. Michael Ruan, a poker pro from New Jersey, is over 10 million.
I love New Jersey. When you're eating a Jersey tomato at a Jersey toll booth on the Jersey Turnpike, now that's living.
That's Cliff Josephy, former stockbroker turned internet poker wizard turned father of 3.
Cliff is everything I'd hoped I could be, but never was and never will be. He costs me great pain.
Top pro Griffin Binger signing a hat. He's got a background in video games.
It seems impossible to me that kids can make a living playing video games, but that's the world we live in. I used to love Pitfall on Atari.
Pitfall, how life imitates art. Vorniku up top, right behind him, 34-year-old Jerry Wong. Mike Shen is an 8th.
8 from the UK left in the field, 2 in the top 10, but British royalty at this main event remains Will Kassouf.
I hate this hand anyway. If you guess it, I'll show it. You know what I hate in Hold'em? Most overrated hand in Hold'em.
Who's king?
It's very good. You can see my cards? Okay, very good, very good. Ace King and Pocket Jack's my worst 3 hand in Hold'em. I am.
Not much argument to Will Kassouf's postulation. Could it be possible? The bloom is off the rose. The lawyer turned poker pro has a quip for every one of his chips.
If he doesn't slow the game down, he's okay by me most of the time.
Kak-Wan Lau has the biggest stack at this table with nearly 12 million.
Lau got lucky with Ace King versus Kenny Hollert's Kings for his tournament life. This is now a main event free roll.
4 chips in play from 5 to 500,000. Yes, the red ones, the red Frisbees are on the larger size. The blinds at 50 and 100K with a 15K ante. From Spain, 37-year-old amateur Fernando Pons with pocket 9s.
He works for a home improvement store.
He's going to improve the pot by raising it to 225. There is Lau on the button with aces.
He's upgraded from Ace King, 30-year-old Hong Kong poker pro. And he speaks Spanish. It would be polite of him if he told Pons he's holding pocket aces.
Oh, very nice. Lau cashed in last year's main event, the chip leader at the table. And he's going to 3-bet with the aces to 575. Kassouf in the small blind.
And Kassouf now will pontificate with a horrendous hand.
Oh, a nice quick fold from Kassouf. He folds now to Pons with the 9s.
Pons with pocket 9s, 27 big blinds, and I believe a rooster on his baseball cap.
All in.
Go time. Snap call. And the aces are crushing the 9s. Spaniard Fernando Pons in trouble.
He's in snap trouble.
Blessed. Get lucky in one hand and then get the goods on it. Blessed.
If this holds, Lau is going to have the second biggest stack in the room.
Fernando's first trip to Vegas in the World Series. It's going to be profitable no matter what happens. Here's the flop, 6-tray deuce, a thing of beauty for Lau.
Even if Pons had just called pre-flop, chances are he would have gotten it all in on that flop.
Turn card now. And oh, a 9! Pons finds his miracle card.
Wow.
Doesn't look like Lau's going to have the second biggest stack. Pons now just has to dodge an ace.
Lau looking to match heroics, but it's another tray. 9's full in the scorebook. And Pons with the double up through Lau. Lau counts out the payoff. Pons now will sit with 6.2 million chips.
Cruel game, tough game, ridiculous game. Pons thinks it's a wonderful game.
Every year I have a conversation or two with friends, and without fail, someone says, poker, it's all luck anyway. And hands like that don't dissuade them, but of course we all know that 81% of the time Kok-Hwan Lau is knocking on the doorstep of the tournament chip lead while Fernando Pons is making travel arrangements back to Spain. So Norman, how do we convince the non-believers of the skill in the game?
Nothing frustrates me more. Okay, that's not true. Overpriced lattes drive me insane. But people who think poker is predominantly a game of luck are a close second. If poker is luck, here are things that are luck too. Real estate investing, the stock market, marrying into money, digging for oil, and frankly, digging for anything. Folks, you cannot earn a living at something that has roots in luck. It's not possible. There is no such thing as a professional roulette artist. Craps doesn't have a players union, and no one buys lottery tickets from 9 to 5. But if that changes, let me know.
Average stack has 54 big blinds and at almost 5.5 million chips. Back to the feature table. Three-handed action post-flop. Kassouf with top pair and a gut shot. Jeff Hakeem with middle pair and a flush draw. He checks it to Hollard, who missed.
Hakeem, 29-year-old poker pro. He's friends with Hollard, 34-year-old poker tournament director. They should form a posse against Will Kassouf.
With one overcard, the Belgian poker tournament director bets $425. Kassouf now with top pair and a gut shot.
Okay, new rule for next year. You only get to look at your cards once, before the hand, during, or after. Doesn't matter, but once you peek, that's it. This rechecking phenomena has to go. Enough is enough.
Kassouf, once a lawyer, always a lawyer, but it's mostly poker now. He makes the call. Hakeem with middle pair and the flush draw.
Hakeem's T-shirt says, I write my own what?
It says, I write my own T-shirt slogans. And he makes the call. So turn card, deuce of spades. Kassouf still good with the queens.
If I knew a deuce of spades was coming, to save time, I would simply skip the turn card altogether and go directly to the river.
Then that would be the turn card, and we'd have a turn card. No, I'm not going to get there. Hollard checks as well.
Kassouf has the best of it here.
He checks it. River card, six of spades, no flush for Hakeem, but he does river two pair.
That's a greatly disguised two pair. It's so well disguised, it feels more like two dope queens than two pair.
Hakeem check the flop, check the turn.
I write my own. Stand up, let us see.
He's got the best hand. He has Lavender's in hand. That's $1,100,000. Hollard folds. Top pair for Kassouf.
1.1 million, right? Spread the pot, please. I mean, Lavender.
Sit down. What, you can't see the pot from your seat? You can't see the board from your seat? You can't see that Hakeem has two pair written all over his face from your seat?
Maybe on his T-shirt.
Well, in Will's defense, I would be confounded too if I were him. I don't see how he has two pair.
Will often test the patience of his table mates, though. This is worthy of a think.
Clock, please.
Lau calls a clock on Kassouf.
Yeah, Lau and Kassouf not buddies. Lau doesn't mind calling the clock on him there.
And I'm sorry, this is a boy crying wolf here. You know, he takes a lot of time, so many times, and then he needs it. He doesn't get it.
Hand doesn't make sense. It's nuts or nothing, literally. Nuts or nothing. Do you want me to call? Yes or no? Simple question. A 10 jack or I got you beat?
Will's table talk doesn't work as well against pros.
10, 9, 8,
Countdown.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1,
Wow.
0.
Wow.
Good
Definitely want
fold.
to see this one. Sick.
Hakeem took a chance calling pre-flop, and it pays off nicely from the big blind.
I write my own endings? Well, that was a good ending. An introspective Will Kassouf, driven to silence.
Still left with 8.3 million, though. A very healthy stack. Hakeem got the best of him there.
A bluff, no win, right?
Jeff stacking almost 7.4 million.
Would you have Queen Jack? Bit better.
And by a bit better, Will means Queen Jack suited. The 2016 World Series of Poker is brought to you by WSOP Social, the #1 play-for-fun poker app for you and your friends. Free download for mobile, tablet, or PC at playwsop.com. Not quite as busy at the Rio right now. That's because the main event field started with 6,737 players, now just 62. The current payout nearly 117,000, $8 million going to this year's champ. At our feature table, across from fellow Brit Will Kassouf, sits restaurateur Andrew Cristoforo, who's making the most of his first time playing the main event.
I'm zoned, yeah, proper zoned, completely. I refuse to walk out of that door, get on the plane, go home and say, I had a chance. And I didn't take advantage of it. Because I've done it before with other tournaments. I'm not doing it with this, no way. I'm not losing focus.
Well, the first timer here does have some decent poker results, but he makes a really good fish and chips. The fish is fresh and light with a crispy batter.
Piss off.
Going back to the other guy.
The other guy.
Chips it, yeah.
Chips it.
And Andrew tells me that it's critical for quality fish and chips to change the oil off.
Yes, man.
He would know.
You watch, boy.
If it's a 3-bet jam, yeah, not
You
just a
watch.
3-bet.
You watch. Someone's got the wrong image of me, mate.
You open, someone raise you, you fold jacks.
All day long.
You're the best. When's your book going out? Seriously, I need to buy a copy now.
When I learn how to
Mate,
read.
I might save money if
Ace
I
Queen for
When I
Andrew.
learn how to read, I'll do it.
Yeah, exactly. You have to learn how to write as well. Or you can translate to someone dictaphone, they can write it for you, right?
Learn how to read this. There you go.
First timer raises to 225.
Cristoforo gets his fish fresh from Scotland, much better than the cod from Lake Las Vegas.
Well, cod's not a freshwater fish, Norman.
That's why it's not very good out of Lake Las Vegas.
You can't read.
Good point. Kassouf with Queen Jack in the big blind.
Big hand.
Don't waste time.
I'm not wasting time, mate. I've got big hand here.
I need to get coffee.
I should be 3-betting you here. But the fact that you're going to 3-bet fold, if I 3-bet you fold jacks, means if I 3-bet here, you should fold anything less, right?
Take it out on the other people there.
Mate, I've got a hand. I've got to play my hand.
Let's go.
If I fold now, they think it's collusion.
Let's go.
They'll say it's collusion if I fold to you now. And then look at the two Brits trying to swap 10% and soft plan.
Heads up. Kassouf just called, and an ace top pair for
It's a
Cristoforo.
good flop for my hand.
Shut up, Will.
See, I'm telling you now.
Will checks.
Just leave it.
What's wrong with you, mate?
Shut up.
You're not steaming. Is that steam coming off your head? Is that steam or is it the lights? Looks like steam. Keep smiling, mate. Good for the game, mate. Cameras are rolling. Don't be shy, mate. Don't look like you're tilting to the world, do you?
Tilting, yeah.
Exactly. Won't be good before your book comes out.
His talk is incessant. It's like at the airport when they don't stop making those announcements. You just can't relax.
What's that about? Give me a discount on the book as well.
Oh, Will.
These guys should go on tour playing heads up.
You got none of that.
You think?
Oh, I'm not going to fish for it. But I had second pair.
Do you want me to show it?
Go on, show it, show it. I had
Do you
second
really
pair.
want me to rim
I had
myself?
9-10 suited. Go
They're
on.
9-10
Go on.
suited. You know I can't.
Go on, you said you
Shut up, Will.
Show one, show one. So you bluffed me.
Will,
King, queen, high, right?
Will,
King,
shut
queen. All right. You had 2 overs. All in good times. All right. Carry on, carry on.
He lies about his hand and wants the other guy to show one.
The amateur gets the best of the pro there and handles the verbal barrage quite nicely. All right, another all-in nearby. Michael Ruan has ace-7 and over 11 million chips, looking to collect the last 455 grand of Cole Jackson. He has jacks.
And Ruan, north of 100 big blinds, can make calls like this.
On the flop, the Seattle poker pro Jackson with his jacks, still good.
Jackson, you may recall, correctly folded jacks full to queens full on day 4, down to 4 big blinds here.
Turn card now, and an ace for Ruan, putting the pinch on Jackson with 1 card left to fall.
And now Jackson will need a jack or he is wamboozled.
The river card, a 10. Let the wamboozling begin. Ruan scores the knockout of Cole Jackson, who will curse pocket jacks all the way home to Washington State.
Yeah, pocket jacks and a Seattle jersey, that's a lot of baggage to overcome.
Ruan having the time of his life here at the Rio, now with 12.5 million chips. So the main event takes another soul. Back at the featured table, and a quick look at 26-year-old Phil Postma.
He was working in finance in Cleveland, took a 1-week vacation to Florida and decided, hey, I like it down here, moved to South Florida and started playing poker full time.
Phil and 2 others saw a flop of King 4-10. Kassouf leads with a pair of 10s. Phil and big blind Adi Abagazal missed. Postma continued with a bet of 175.
Kassouf got the best of that flop, middle pair.
And he just calls with the best hand. Abou-Ghazal folds. Heads up to the turn. 5 of hearts. Postma with a gut shot, but he's still a big dog in the hand.
What Kassouf doesn't know is that Postma graduated from Grand Valley State University in Michigan, which has the winningest Division II college football program in history, so I would check here.
Really?
Yes, really.
Kassouf does check. Really?
Yes, it's true. I'm not a presidential nominee. Postma looks passive, but he is Grand Valley State aggressive. He wants to hit somebody.
Well, reaching. Big bet with the draw. 525.
Postma fires a second barrel. The gut shot on the turn gives him a little more impetus to continue.
Kassouf with second pair and a flush draw.
How much you got behind you? No more lavender, right?
Kassouf likes to stand up. It's good exercise. He's a tiger. Did Kassouf just peek at his cards again? That's not going to be allowed next year.
There's the call.
There's something stuck to the bottom of Postma's shoe. It's Kassouf.
Right? River card, jack and diamonds. Postma comes up empty at the river. Kassouf with the best hand. Checks again.
Will he fire a third barrel?
No.
Aces are good.
Well, they would be good if he had them. Show your hand, Will.
Will played it cautiously and will collect the pot of over 1.8 million.
Third barrel might have done it there. 3 barrels almost always better than 2. Rather have 3 barrels of oil than 2. Rather have 3 barrels of beer than 2 if beer comes in a barrel.
A costly loss for Postma.
You fire the river, I have to fold. You fire like 1 million or 1 point whatever, yeah, I have to fold.
Postma had a shot. Kassouf with a reason to talk
Hindsight, that. It's easy to hindsight.
for a change. To come this far and not make the November 9, so painful. At the expense of Griffin Benger, Brian Yoons, final table dream ends in 60th place.
He finished 58th here in 2011. He was a kid with a dream.
Robert Park leaves with nearly 117 grand, but a lot of what ifs.
He finished 33rd in 2014. He was another kid with a dream.
Justin Kumar's third main event, a very profitable one, but he falls short of the final 9.
He was a 50-year-old IT manager with a dream.
So now 57 remain, a pay jump coming after 3 more eliminations. 30-year-old Kok-Wan Lau, born in Hong Kong. At age 3, moved to Spain, recently moved back to Hong Kong.
He was 143rd in last year's main event, mostly an online cash player.
Under the gun +1. Lau, reaching for lavenders, must have a hand. Ace-king. A raise to 225. Will Kassouf with pocket 9s.
Big hands for the 2 most active players at this table and 2 players who don't seem to care much for each other.
9s were not kind to Lau as Fernando Pons doubled through Lau, holding 9s against Lau's aces.
535.
A re-raise to 535. Abou-Ghazal now with jacks.
38-year-old Israeli-born amateur, works in real estate. Pocket jacks with 18 big blinds. He'd usually shove, but he's staring at a raise and a re-raise in front of him.
And a pay bump coming. No middle ground for Adi.
Big decision.
Best hand, no bluff.
And though Lau and Kassouf are very active, here they have both raised from early position, so either one could have a big hand.
As you mentioned, with his stack, it's all or nothing for Adi.
Big lay down.
He opts for nothing.
That was a big laydown. Abou-Ghazal did not want to risk his main event in that spot. Can't blame him.
Christopher on the button with queen tray of hearts.
Clock. Such an idiot.
Allard folds the big blind. Back to Lau now with ace-king. And he's going to make a quick call.
Think about it. Think about it, Kok-Wan. No? Don't you think about it? Snap call?
Yeah, why should someone act quickly?
Heads up now. Lau and Kassouf again. 10 and 10 and a queen. Lau with a Broadway draw. Lau checks to the pre-flop aggressor. Kassouf with 2 pair of 9s and
550.
10s on board. 550.
This is a Hatfield-McCoy situation, and McCoy's got the better of it right now.
That's more than a third of the pot. Lau with the draw and 2 overs. Plus, it's Will Kassouf. You want to get the best of Will Kassouf if you're playing with him, and there is the call. Almost $2.5 million up for grabs. Turn card. 8 of spades. Lau checks again.
They're both stubborn. They both don't like each other much. It's a good thing there is a dealer between the two of them. We should try that, Lon.
Exactly. Kassouf. He wants a piece of Lau as much as Lau wants a piece of him. He opts not to bet.
Well, not to nitpick, but he could have checked 3 seconds sooner.
Another queen counterfeiting Kassouf, so Lau's ace with the 2 pair on board is best.
Just a terrible card for Kassouf.
Lau will check a 3rd time.
As you mentioned, Kassouf's 2 pair no longer good. The pocket 9s have been counterfeited. He can't win the pot now unless he bets at it. Will he fire?
He has the chip stack to speculate.
1.25 million.
Half the pot and a wee bit more.
Yeah, he fires, trying to get Lau off of his ace high.
The name of the game in Hold'em is put your opponent in a tough spot, and that's exactly where Lau is.
The pace of play is so slow, many of the players here have left the table and are forming support groups nearby.
And no speech from Kassouf here. Lau doesn't know what to make of that.
No speech from Kassouf and no give up from Lau. He doesn't want to give it up.
Will's not supposed to talk here, so he's following directions at least.
Clock, please.
And he calls a clock.
You have 50 seconds to act on your hand. If you haven't acted, there will be a 10-second countdown. If the count of 0, your hand would be dead.
Yeah, a fold from Lau.
9 high like a boss. Counterfeited. Sake. My life. Nice got ace high in this coup. Calls on. Put that on the blog. 9 high like a boss.
Win with grace, lose with grace, not part of Will Kassouf's makeup, and Lau might be on tilt.
Yeah, not a big loss for Lau, but it could have been a nice game.
It's a sick river, isn't it? Sickest river.
What a boss.
Have to, I'm going to check 9 high. Yeah, you win.
No,
Right.
that's not what we're talking about, yeah. Take the break.
Deja vu from yesterday, isn't it?
A lot going on in that hand. Antonio Esfandiari and Phil Locke are here to sort it all out.
9 high like a boss. Not only does he get jacks to fold pre-flop, he gets the best hand to fold on the river, and then he stands up and says, 9 high like a boss, and shows his cards.
Oh, man, it's crazy. If I wasn't so distracted by your outfit, I could maybe chat. Bruce Lee, he wants to know, what's with the diaper pin? He wants to know. I'm not curious. I'm asking on his behalf.
This is called fashion forward, something you will never know anything about, Phil Locke. Can we talk about the hand?
Let's go back to the hand. Yeah.
Let's talk about Lau's decision to fold on the river. Kassouf is only representing a queen, really. And given there's 2 10s on the board, he's more likely to check back a queen on the turn and maybe pick up a bluff or something and keep the size of the pot smaller. So it looks a little fishy. And Lau picks up on it. He's there. Not quite. It's really hard to call a big size bet on the river for a lot of chips. Tough spot.
If your TV is now shattered, please send a bill to Antonio Esfandiari, Las Vegas, Nevada.
Marvellous. This will be embarrassing. You don't put me on this hand, I'll tell you. I can't say what I've got. 9 high like a boss. Big heart of a lion. 9 high like a boss. Mate, I've got a hand. I've got to play my hand. Let's go. If I fold now, they think it's collusion. It's a good flop for my hand.
Shut up, Will.
Is that steam coming off your head? Is that steam or is it the lights? Keep smiling, man. Good for the game, mate. Cameras are rolling. Don't look like you're tilting to the world, do you?
Tilting, yeah.
Welcome back inside the Amazon room. 56 players left at the 2016 main event. One of them, chip leader and first-timer Valentin Vorniku. Another is just like a boss, Will Kassouf. At an outer table, Dan Coleman and Cliff Josephy are heads up on the flop, each with a pair. Josephy with top pair, Coleman with middle pair.
Josephy got burned out by Wall Street and at age 37 transitioned to online poker.
A bet from Josephy, a raise from Coleman, and now a call from Josephy. Turn card now. 10 of clubs. Josephy's still best with his jacks, and he checks.
Coleman very intense at the poker table, but he listens to music to help stay chilled and relaxed on the felt.
Let's not underestimate this matchup. Different generations, yes, but the volume of poker knowledge and accomplishments they have is striking. And now Coleman, after the check, bets $1.5 million.
That's a striking turn bet. Coleman putting a lot of pressure on Josephy's top pair.
Dan, a heads-up specialist, knows aggression paves many paths to success.
Josephy with 2 bracelets. First one came in stud in 2005. This isn't stud.
Wow, Josephy shoves on Dan Coleman.
Maybe trying to get Dan to lay down a draw, and nowhere for Coleman to go now. Those cards had to go into the muck.
Coleman with the shorter stack wasn't going to call off everything there. Josephy takes a nice pot.
Nice play by the newly minted AARP member.
Josephy now increases his stack to almost 11 million. Meanwhile, Dan Coleman's stack has been cut in half. He's got to be wondering, was he had or did he have the better hand? Nearby in seat 1 next to the dealer, Tom Middleton 4-bet all in with pocket jacks for over $4 million. And the black agonizing Mike Shin with twice the stack, but a lesser hand with pocket tens. But he does make the call.
Shin, 28-year-old business owner, runs cell phone stores in Wisconsin. Middleton at risk, 29-year-old British pro. He won the EPT Barcelona main event in 2013.
Shin would love to phone a friend here for a 10.
Well, he can afford to take this hit here. Shin started the hand with almost 100 big blinds.
Flop now is all spades. Shin with a flush draw, Middleton with a sweat.
Yeah, Middleton has no desire to look at that board any further.
Turn card, a spade! And now Middleton drawing dead and out of the main event just like that.
Wow. And such a convenient suck out for Mike Shin. He just reaches over and takes his new chips from his departed neighbor, and the Lon McCarron Memorial hand claims another unsuspecting out-of-town victim.
A big pot for Shin. He committed nearly half his chips as a 4-1 underdog. Now he's the chip leader.
Poker's all luck.
All right, back to Cliff Josephy's table. He has the action and pocket kings. Dietrich Fast on Cliff's right, 3-bet with aces from the button following Chris Klodnicki's opener of $215,000.
Well, Josephy, the man with the great life, the life I want, is about to get coolered here for almost a quarter of his stack, but he can afford it.
Yeah, he's now over 10 million to work with, and they are going to work, Norman. With kings. That's a 4-bet to $1,350,000. This could get ugly for Cliff. Big blind folded now to Klodnicki again.
Klodnicki does not have aces, kings, or a bracelet, so he should not be in this hand.
Great poker mind, though, with over $8 million in live earnings.
He's a terrific player. 37 World Series cashes.
Tough table, yeah, it is. He folds to Fast with the aces. He's got to raise all in. Cliff's got to call. Bang, bang, aces versus kings.
And Fast, the 2015 World Series Europe bracelet winner, starts to pack up, which is his tradition, but he's in great shape for the double-up.
The best news for Cliff is that Fast had only $2.4 million. And now Dietrich pulling out all the stops to keep his aces from being cracked against Cliff Josephy's kings. Pro Jason Les checking in on Dietrich. Here's the flop. And a king for Josephy. Dietrich Fast is in trouble for real.
Boy, this guy's got a great life. No?
I'm not going to jump in the stream. No kangaroo. I'll leave that to you.
Now I can put in my question, right?
I couldn't continue. Maybe that was a mistake. I didn't put in the pressure.
Is that a seat cushion or a frisbee?
Fast, the World Series bracelet winner. On borrowed time, the 7 is not an ace.
Because I need the backpack on my back.
So Dietrich wants to be all packed up so he can unpack up when an ace hits the river.
The river card. No ace. Cliff gets lucky.
Good game. Good game, man.
Fast gets ousted.
Yeah, the delightful German takes his leave. Hate to see him go. And this Wolf of Wall Street doesn't care who or what he destroys on his greed-driven path to the penthouse.
Cliff working on almost $13.5 million. Not a long walk for Fast to the checkout desk.
It's like 2006 all over again.
Tough way for Fast to go out.
Day 6, I'm bust with aces versus kings. Happens. Both sides. Sometimes aces wins, sometimes kings wins. If I would win this hand, I would have like 5 million, so I would be back in the game. But I got unlucky, and I wish Cliff all the best for the tournament.
Once a year, the Amazon Room is transformed into the center of the poker world. That center shrinks every day. Right now, just 54 players remain. At one of our featured tables, a former main event chip leader, main event rookie, 33-year-old Valentin Vornicu, 8 World Series circuit rings to his credit. Also here, the Hirsute, Austin, Texas pro Alex Keating with 62 big blinds.
The math teacher and the guy who never works.
Action at this table is on Elliot Peterman. 29-year-old London native, now lives in Costa Rica with his family of 4. Ace-Jack offsuit, a raise to 225. Keating with Trey Deuce on the button.
Keating looks like a real-life lumberjack, or a hipster playing a lumberjack, or a faux hipster playing a hipster playing a lumberjack. It's all quite confusing.
The plaid shirt does lend an upper Northwest air to him.
And oh, this isn't the Alex Keating I know. He's usually Mr. Premium Hand, but he's about to get frisky with Squadouche.
Trey Deuce. I don't think he wants to see a flop, so that's a 3-bet to 800,000. So on the big blind, Wojciech Ruzicka from the Czech Republic for Trey.
I got 6 million, but I'll count it again.
That 3-bet's a wake-up call to Ace-Jack. But the guy on the other end of the line has Trey Deuce.
I think it's like 5.8. That's my guess.
Peterman has him covered.
By the way, I'm incorrect to say Keating's never worked. He was a baseball umpire as a teenager.
Tough job. Don't call. Don't call.
Show me. I'll show you one.
The lumberjack. Power of position, as they say.
P.O. solved that hand.
Peterman takes the tiny hit to his big stack. Keating with a little chutzpah closes things out pre-flop.
I saw an ace when you folded.
Aces.
Folded 2 aces. I thought you were scared of money. That's what I've been telling everyone. They're like, you gonna stack that kid? I'm like, no. He's gonna blind out.
That kid, by the way, is a year older than Keating. Mike Shen, still the chip leader, 54 left. We get back to our featured table.
Thought I eat a Snickers bar, just, gambling with the nuts.
Gambling with the nuts. The guy even has props.
Unless I get counterfeit, of course. I get the nuts to fold. How much it? 2? See what we do? Right, 1.5 behind.
I think the table is weary of Will.
You're not bluffing, are you? No, I don't think so. I better just call them.
Abagazal opened under the gun with King Jack of clubs. Kasuf calls on the big blind with Ace-6 of clubs.
Nuts, please, Ela. Nuts.
Top pair for Will.
Oh, not bad.
No clubs.
It's a good flop for my hand. I'm telling you now. Being friendly. It's a good flop for my hand. Oh, wow. No C-bet? You got ace-high?
Trips for Will now.
That's a silly card.
With only 15 big blinds left, a C-bet was dangerous territory for Abagazal. Plus, Kasuf out-flopped him, and now he's out-turned him, too.
I'll put it on the turn. Good card, but just in case you're slow playing.
Kasuf playing it tricky.
And talking with his mouth full.
Oh. See that?
River card. That hits Abughazal, unfortunately for him.
Don't tell me you hit the king now. It's a cooler if you hit the king. I was definitely winning before that card came.
And Kassouf now with tricky speech play.
No, we won't break. That's we won't be breaking. I think it's 50. No, they're breaking the table. 55. So what it says.
Yeah. I think we need one more.
Was on my table the day after as well.
No.
So she's
445. All right. You got it, man. You got it. You got it? I think I have it. Hang on. I got it, man. I got it.
He's got something.
So tell me what you got. I'll tell if I want you to call. Depending on what you have, I want you to call.
It's nice to talk much when you hit your card, huh?
Sorry?
It's nice when you hit your card, huh?
Well, you hit the king?
No, you.
No,
Nice
I haven't
to
hit the
talk.
king. If you hit the king, you have to call.
You call.
Ouch.
Wow. 8-6.
Will very pleased with himself, like Napoleon after the Battle of Austerlitz.
Ruffler's gonna ruffle.
Abughazal doesn't look particularly pleased with Will.
He gets tripped up. He's cut down to just 10 big blinds. Kassouf keeps climbing.
Hey? Hey? We always got it. I told you, get my chips in good. That's what I can do. Non-believers. Non-believers.
Abughazal couldn't get away from it, and he's feeling main event pain. Welcome back to the Rio. A moment ago, Eddie Abughazal got his last 10 big blinds in with ace-queen against Phil Postma's Pocket Jackson. Well, Adi looking for the payout window.
Bittersweet for Abughazal. Sad to bust. Glad to be free of Will Kassouf.
He did benefit from a recent pay bump. To an outer table, Aussie first-timer Mitch Watson on the right flopped a set of sevens, raised Pavlin Karakikov all in. He holds pocket tens.
Karakikov, 31-year-old Bulgarian-born Chicago pro and real estate investor, 133rd at last year's main event. He was once a lifeguard on the Black Sea. The Black Sea! That's like the #2 ranked sea in the world.
What's number one?
The Mediterranean.
Of course. A nice fold from Karakikov.
And Watson can't believe he didn't get all of Karakikov's chips. Oh, look. Watson wants to make sure he gets all the chips he's supposed to. What, you're going to cheat a school teacher out of his pot?
Day 6 has been kind to Watson. The first-timer from down under continues a nice and profitable main event run. Back to our featured table, Qui Nguyen, a local pro, has joined this table. As tables break or need to be rebalanced, players are moved around. Nguyen drew this table, born in Saigon, Vietnam, moved to Florida in 1999. He's a cash game player here in Vegas with a bit of a weakness for Baccarat, though he says he hopes to stop.
I believe there are 7 professional Baccarat players worldwide. You know why? Everybody loses at that game.
Folded to win on the button with 8 Trey. Is 8 Trey a good hand in Baccarat?
I don't know. Phil Ivey is my Baccarat go-to guy, and he's dead to me.
Nguyen raises to 250 of his 10 million chip stack.
Well, we know A-Trey's not a good hand in poker, but Nguyen wants to take it out for a stroll.
And will take Queen Jack of clubs to a flop with a call there from the big blind.
Well, that's a decent hand in poker, and it's even a better one in blackjack.
Well, here's the flop. Ace, ace, 10, a Broadway draw for Kassouf.
Neither player, though, thrilled with that flop.
Will checks the paired board.
Nguyen could make a continuation bet here, also known as the 8 high, get out of my pot bet.
They both check. 6 of clubs on the turn.
Oddly enough, Kassouf is not acquainting his new table mate with his speech play.
Good point. I was basking in the silence. He checks again.
If there was a hat competition or a hat reality show, and there probably already is one, Nguyen's hat has to be in the running for ugliest of the year. Is there someone else wearing that somewhere? What's the target audience for that? Small animals that want to intimidate predators?
Nguyen muscles up and bets 225.
No pair, no draw, 8 high, 225K. Sounds like a plan.
He's a gambler.
All right, give Max some credit. Wow.
Kassouf gives it up.
Nice.
Maybe Nguyen bluffs at Baccarat, too.
Might have actually got there on the turn.
Well, it was believable.
6, 7, 6.
He raised pre-flop, checked the paired board. Then he bet. It all adds up to an ace instead of the 8 tray. Welcome to the table, Mr. Wynn. The 2016 World Series of Poker is brought to you by WSOP Social, the #1 play-for-fun poker app for you and your friends. Free download for mobile, tablet, or PC at playwsop.com. If you're not chipping up, you're chipping down, which isn't a real poker term, but it should be. Critical time of the tournament as we move towards the final 27 players. Kassouf and Kackwon Lau back at it. Lau raised from the button with ace-queen. Kassouf with pocket nines in the big blind.
These two can't get out of each other's way. They should just go and get their own dealer.
Not unlike a hand between these two we saw a short time ago. Nines have really tortured Lau recently.
The best hand at the moment, that's what I'm saying. If you fold and show, I'll show. I'll keep it friendly. I'm not making a move. Big hand. I don't need to hit anything. I'm not going to raise you light out of position to you. I'll call it about a marginal hand, so. Big hand. It's just before the break, so not making a move. If you fold and show, I'll show. 100% I got you beat. I think with your hand, you got 3 outs. That's all I'm saying.
3 outs pre-flop? That's interesting. I don't know. This is why the colonies broke away. Taxation without representation and faulty math. 3 outs?
Lau calls Kassouf's 3-bet. 10-7-10 spooky. Their previous showdown had 2 10s in the flop.
This is the great part about the main event. Long days, long levels, and you really get to know your opponents. It's quite a mental tug of war.
Kassouf with the best hand.
800,000.
He's going to lead out for 800,000, hoping Lau doesn't have a 10 in his hand. Lau did miss.
So you have the best hand pre-flop, on the flop. I'll show you because it's a break now. You fold and show, I'll show. Big hand. No bluffing.
If you fold and show, I'll show. Coming to a theater near you soon.
Keeping it friendly, that's all.
That's a call.
And Lau keeps it friendly with a call. A raise would have been unfriendly.
Turn card, tray of clubs. Kassouf still best.
You think I'm bluffing?
Kassouf just never stops playing with your mind. It's quite a fascinating weapon of his, and it often works.
Almost
1.5
3 million in the pot, and that's about half the pot that he bets.
That's 1.5.
Told you, no bluffing, man. I'll keep it friendly with you. You fold and show, I'll show. I've got the best hand. Pre-flop, on the flop, on the turn.
Unbeknownst to Kassouf, Lau does not speak a word of English.
No bluffing. We're on a break now, so I will show you 100%. If you fold and show, I'll show.
Now, if he switches to Spanish, that's a different story. There's a call from Lau.
Lau's called the flop and the turn, maybe to bluff the river, or maybe because he thinks he's getting bluffed.
Look at that pot, almost 6 million in the middle. The river card. King of hearts, and Kassouf dodges distress.
But the king might scare Kassouf. Ace-king certainly in Lau's range.
Lau had ace-king last time these two matched up, but it's ace-queen this time. A check from Kassouf. Check back. And Kassouf will take that pot.
9s like a boss. Kassouf has Lau's number.
Lau learning firsthand your table draw can be key to your championship hopes. Kassouf's verbal game paying big dividends. That hefty pot moves him over 14 million. And that is good for 3rd place on our Day 6 leaderboard. We have just 51 hale and hearty souls remaining.
Mike Shin is our chip leader. Jason Less in 7th. He's bounced back since extricating himself from the web of Will Kassouf.
The main event.